It is impossible to know how long Islam Makhachev's reign could last, but after the dominance he showed at UFC 280, it is safe to say that he has the potential to become a shining star in Dana White's company. Following Khabib Nurmagomedov's retirement last year, his friend and teammate Islam Makhachev has taken the mantle of being the second UFC champion hailing from Dagestan, Russia. Makhachev's talent is undeniable, and with Nurmagomedov now out of the way, Makhachev made his ascent to the throne by going on a 10-fight win streak before he got his chance to gold. Makhachev's glory came at the age of 31. Although he had been building his own career for some time, he was a periphery until Khabib's retirement. In the main event of UFC 280, he faced Charles Oliveira to decide who the best lightweight in the world is. Makhachev dominated the fight from bell to bell, winning every exchange, and he finished Oliveira with an arm triangle choke in the second round. He has a stellar record in MMA and has lost just one fight in his entire career. But throughout the time when he was quite unpopular, one person that always believed in him was Khabib's father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. Makhachev honed his skills under the tutelage of Abdulmanap. Abdulmanap always believed that Makhachev would be the successor to Khabib's throne. According to him, Islam Makhachev's hunger surpassed that of Khabib, and he would one day replace Khabib as the lightweight champion. He said, "I think Islam can beat anyone. He's younger and hungrier, and he should take Khabib's place. That way, I solidify my coaching abilities. So, Khabib retires and another champion emerges who's also my student." And when Makhachev eventually did bring Abdulmanap's prophecy to fulfillment, during his emotional post-fight speech, Makhachev dedicated the win to his mentor. "I just want to say this, my belt is for Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. Many years ago, he told me just train hard and you're going to be a champion. I want to give this belt. Him and his father, they made me." But it was not just Abdulmanap. Several other stalwarts in the world of MMA believed in the abilities of Islam Makhachev. Former two-division champion Daniel Cormier has been a vocal supporter of Islam Makhachev for a long time now. Cormier refers to his AKA teammate as champion and has stated that Islam would become the lightweight champ on numerous occasions in the past. Cormier said, "I believe this man is going to be the UFC champion. He is fantastic in every area of mixed martial arts. From day one in AKA, he could strike with anyone, wrestle anyone, and grapple anyone. You're now the champion of the world. You're the next champ. You're the best. You've always been the best. I am so excited to call another one of his fights this weekend. Let's go, champ." Leading up to the title fight against Oliveira, many felt Makhachev didn't deserve the title fight because he hadn't fought any top 10 opponents. A lack of ranked opponents on his resume and alleged avoidance of Rafael dos Anjos has tainted some fans' view of Makhachev. Well, while that is true, it didn't deter him from becoming the best lightweight in the world. Cormier even stated that the top-ranked UFC lightweights are intentionally avoiding Makhachev because they know he's going to smash all of them. DC compared Islam Makhachev to the undisputed welterweight champion Kamaru Usman. He said, "Nobody will fight him. Islam is just gonna smash them all. He'll beat them all. I know for a fact the fight was offered to Paul Felder, it was offered to RDA, it was offered to a number of guys in that top 10, and these guys won't fight him. I don't know what more he can do but just compete, make money, and keep working his way toward the championship." It's very reminiscent of when Kamaru Usman was coming up. But Abdulmanap and DC were not the only ones who saw Makhachev becoming a UFC champion. AKA head coach Javier Mendez believed Islam Makhachev is an evolved version of Khabib Nurmagomedov and will rule the 155-pound division in the years to come. In an interview with Niall McGrath, Javier Mendez claimed that Makhachev's game is better rounded than Khabib's. Javier said, "His overall game is slightly better than Khabib's. The stand-up, the kicking, and the ground. Remember, Islam is a two-time Sambo champion, and not just recently too. He accomplished what Khabib has accomplished. Islam has adapted to striking quicker than Khabib, being that Khabib will only train striking when he's with me. And Khabib didn't even like to kick very much at the end of the last two camps. That's when he started getting up the kick. But perhaps there was no bigger believer in Makhachev than his friend and training partner, Khabib Nurmagomedov. With the passing of Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, Khabib, his son, took the mantle of leadership and started coaching the fighters. Khabib has always maintained that Islam Makhachev is one of the very best fighters in the lightweight division. According to Khabib, Makhachev had the potential to become the new king of the lightweight division. After Makhachev's unanimous decision over Davi Ramos at UFC 242 in 2019, Nurmagomedov left his title beside Makhachev and called him a future champion. Nurmagomedov even said that by the end of 2021, Islam Makhachev will be the biggest name in the lightweight division, ahead of the likes of Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier. He said, Now everybody talks about Dustin, Conor, Chandler, Justin, and Oliveira, but by the end of the year, it's gonna be changed. I don't think anyone can beat Makhachev right now. He will run the division. Well, his prediction was a year earlier, but he was right. With the victory, Makhachev brought what they had predicted to fulfillment, and he looks on his way to be an all-time legend. Although it might be too early for that, Makhachev has all it takes to become a legend. Well, what is next for him might decide that. Now that he is the lightweight champion of the world, Makhachev has set his sights on something bigger, and that is becoming the #1 pound-for-pound MMA fighter in the world. In his post-fight interview, he said, "I have a new goal, which is to be the best pound-for-pound, and for that, I have to go to Australia and beat this guy." Makhachev then proceeded to call out the current pound-for-pound #1 and UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski, who's been adamant about getting a chance to become a two-division title holder. UFC President Dana White also agreed that's the fight to make. Dana said, "It looks like Volkanovski is next. Volkanovski never ceases to amaze me. Another incredible fight." As far as a potential date, the UFC has a pay-per-view card scheduled for Perth, Australia, Volkanovski's home country, on February 11th. White said that could probably be the card for the champ versus champ fight, but didn't confirm it. But one possible matchup is a fight against Conor McGregor. Former UFC featherweight and lightweight double champion Conor McGregor isn't impressed, however. In since-deleted tweets, the 34-year-old said he's capable of beating Makhachev, citing his experience against Khabib. "Nice fight, nice performance. I have built all the tools to beat this style now versus before. Experience versus Khabib breaking shots from the clinch and baby brain batter shots from the bottom. And the rest of my repertoire you know. Steel left leg, cannons backhand, wrist control. The thought of shutting down this system of fighting with my own developed system is quite intriguing to me. Whoever of them against, it's not personal. It's a skill evaluation and a fight, even through generations. The amateurs, a war of attrition, to the box." While this fight is likely not to materialize at the moment, it could nonetheless happen if McGregor gets a few wins under his belt. McGregor is working his way back to the octagon with an eye toward a comeback in 2023 after suffering a broken leg during a match with Dustin Poirier in July 2021. But he'd no doubt have a hard time against Makhachev. The Dagestani has only lost once during his entire professional MMA career, with Adriano Martins getting a shock knockout victory over him at UFC 192, Cormier vs. Gustafsson in 2015. Since the loss, Makhachev has gone on to defeat the likes of Arman Tsarukyan, Dan Hooker, Bobby Green, and now Oliveira. He has extended his UFC winning streak to 11 fights in a row and is now looking to become the best lightweight in UFC history, surpassing Khabib's legacy. Well, currently the lightweight title defense streak is 3 wins, so we truly could see Makhachev breaking records in that division. Well, that'd be all for now, guys. Do you see Makhachev becoming one of the greatest of all time? Let us know in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe.